Welcome back to the channel, and I want to bring you an update. I know it's been a couple of months, and I have got things done. I've gotten more accomplished. Maybe not quite as much as I'd like, but we are making progress. Start off, I want to show you what I did on the inside. We put the kill mat down on the floorboards. I don't know if that'll actually help as far as soundproofing or not, but I just thought it seemed like a good measure to take to help protect the metal and keep us in good shape over the years. And it wasn't expensive or hard to do. Kind of time consuming, all these curves and everything, but I think it makes a difference. We also did it in the trunk, but I only did it in the front part there, going up to the nose there. So that's done. I've also been working on some of the parts. There's the bumper. Here you can see this is the front bumper. Just trying to get that for you. This has been completely cleaned up. Took the light apart, cleaned that up, the lens, everything. The inside has been, I got all the rust out of it. Cleaned all the nuts and bolts up, so everything is, and it's rust proofed. The whole front bumper has been done that way, so that's ready to install when the time comes. It's a little premature for that right now, since we still got to buff the car and everything. Also been working on the front end suspension parts. Got the control arm here, the new bushings installed. That's been all cleaned and painted. That's for both sides. I've already installed the one on the driver's side. Got the wheel hubs off because I wanted to replace the rotors. The rotors really weren't in bad shape, but they're not very expensive, and I wanted to put new ones on. I had a bear of a time getting those off. I must have lubricated them, heated them, beat on them, you name it, pulled on them with a puller, couldn't get them out. So I finally had to give up and take those to a brake shop and have them pressed out. And the bearings that are in them are in good shape. I don't know if I'll replace those yet or not. The car has, I think, 72,000 miles on them. I don't think that's really a lot of miles for bearings, but it has been sitting for a long time. I probably will go ahead and replace them, but I just haven't really decided yet. Got the spacers cleaned up, painted. Also the dust shields that go behind the rotors, those have been all taken care of. Like I said, we've got new rotors for it. Also been working on the brake calipers, getting those ready, get all new parts. We've got new pistons in there, new seals. Everything's been cleaned up and painted with caliper paint. So that's looking pretty good. Had a really hard time getting those pistons out. These are the old ones. I saved them to show you. They were really rusted, really in bad shape. And we got those out. And I'll show you how I got them out. They did not want to come out. And I tried some tricks and things that I saw on YouTube. It didn't really work. So what I did was I took the new brake hose, attached it to the caliper, and then I put a piece of vinyl tube on there with an air fitting, like so, with some clamps, and I turned my compressor up to about 90 psi. But even then, I had to heat the caliper. I took a heat gun and heated it. Needless to say, I'd been hosing it down with lubricant, but I heated it up and tapped on it with a hammer, and then when I applied the air pressure, it popped right out. So we've got both of those done, pretty much ready to install. Got new brake lines, fittings, bleeders. Everything's pretty much ready to go. I'm waiting on my brake pads. I had these pads from some time. I bought them, but it turns out they're the wrong ones. And so I already talked to the supplier, and they're sending me new ones. So I'm waiting on those, and then we'll be able to put those back together. Also been cleaning up the front spindles, these knuckles. and getting those ready. These are the new bushings here. The problem with it is I had to have these pressed out at the same time as I did the others. But it seems to me that this sleeve is here has got to come out as well. And I don't know if that was part of the OEM bushing that was in there, or what's the story, but they are this exact same diameter as the new bushing. So that's got to come out. Either that or these are the wrong bushings. I don't know which. So still got to check into that. And I'm thinking about just buying a press because I've still got the rear control arm bushings to do. And by the time I get all this work done, it really adds up. And I'm thinking for just a little bit more, I could go ahead and get myself a bench press or whatever. And that way at least I've got the tool. I did want to address one other thing. Someone mentioned about using the rivets in the interior here. And that, they brought up the issue of dissimilar metal corrosion, that they thought I'd put aluminum rivets in with the steel, and that would create a rust problem over time, which it will. That is true. But I went back and checked because I got to thinking about it. I was pretty sure I didn't do that. And lo and behold, I didn't. I used steel rivets. So I appreciate the concern, but I didn't use rivets anywhere where they are exposed to the elements. Really on the inside here is really, I used them there, and I did use them on the side on a couple of the repairs, but those were I ground off the heads and drilled them out, so there's no rivets in the body anywhere else. I only left them in there because they're underneath carpet and everything else. So anyway, I wanted to address that. We're just kind of getting everything ready, trying to kind of put a few parts, hang a few things just to see how it's going to go. And still got a lot of painting to do, no doubt about that. Just trying to get a feel for things, get a few parts up. I did go through and separate all my parts into boxes to make it easier, hopefully, to find what I need. And we'll see. I put brake parts into one box. I put electrical stuff into one box. Some body things all into one box. Did it like that just to help. I have found that I am missing a couple of things though, and I don't know what happened to them. And I have literally turned the garage inside out, and also my shed, and even in the house. And I don't know. It looks bad. I don't know what could have happened to them, but they were brand new parts, and it'll cost me a couple $100 to replace them. So I'm kind of holding off on that, hoping that they'll turn up, but I don't know. I really have no explanation for what happened to them. I don't know why anybody would take them, then it wouldn't be of any use to anybody. But anyway, we'll see. So that's where we are now, and try to get as much done like what I'm doing until spring comes, when we can. What I'd like to do right now is, like I said, get the suspension put back on the car and get it back down on wheels and get it outside. And hopefully that's what we'll be able to do. So we'll keep you posted. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate the comments. And like and subscribe. And we'll see you shortly, hopefully.